I think learning, or especially meta learning, learning how to learn, is it's like the grandfather or the grandmother of personal growth or high performance or self-help, if you will, because without learning, nothing changes. And so I think that one of the common themes is they have a high standard for things. They have a vision. And, I always talk about 3 H's, head, heart, hands, that you could visualize things with your head and, set goals and outcomes and KPIs or affirmations. But if you're not acting with your hands, something is missing. And I think the second H, the heart, and having the motivation or drive, the emotion to be able to achieve those things, because we're not always logical, right? But we're biological, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. I mean, we do things very based on our feelings. And I find that spending time with high achievers, they have a high drive. Those feelings, a high level of, some people call it purpose. I know you had our buddy Simon on the show. Yeah. Start with why, but asking yourself, like, why? Why do I want to remember this? Why do I want to learn this? Why do I want to achieve that goal? Because reasons reap results. They really do. Reasons reap results and a lot of rewards. And so that's why I love watching your show, because you provide not only the insights, because people want to know what to do, but then you also give them the inspiration to do it. Because a lot of people, they'll get the inspiration, but they're like, what do I do now? But then you're talking, and you just, going through your Ironman, I mean, that must have been grueling. I mean, I love people who test themselves, because I really think life, like, we really grow the most and live the most when we're playing and practicing at the edge of our limits. Because
we're uncomfortable.
Exactly, and I think that commonality is common with high performers or elite mental performers or athletes or actors or traders or educators or philanthropists. They're at that level. Whether it's, and that another one, Jane Goodall, like here, another London, here in the UK, whether it's genius here in their heart. I love people who are just disrupting things. They're not playing necessarily by the traditional rules. Usually, I read this book called The Structure of Scientific Revolution that says all the big evolutions and advancements and innovations come from people outside the industry. Because it usually takes somebody, whether it's fashion or technology or automotive, the car industry, it takes someone like an Elon to look from the outside, to look in, saying, hey, if we were to start completely over right now, zero-based thinking, what would cars look like today? So it's not additive, it's just something that's fresh.
How do you maintain that balance of also being present and happy?
Yeah.
Because like you said, you're attracted to people who push themselves, but when you're uncomfortable, like a lot of times I'm having tough days.
Yes.
But I love it in retrospect.
Yeah.
But how do you find that balance?
For me, I think it's individual, much like I think diet is, and a lot of things is preference and finding what works. I think a lot of people, they give away their sovereignty and a lot of their power to other people as an expert or as a guru, if you will. But I think the ultimate expert is ourself. And I really do believe self-awareness is a superpower, like knowing yourself. For me to feel totally fulfilled, and if people want to be successful, be happy, I think it comes down to 2 things. I think it comes down to having the curiosity to want to know yourself, like really go deep about who are you, what are your beliefs, and what do you really value, what do you stand for, what do you stand against, all these different things, your capabilities, your habits, your routines. So having that self-awareness, the curiosity to know yourself. But once you know yourself, I think a lot of people might know themselves, but you also need the courage to be yourself too. Like once you know yourself, you need to be able to have that courage, that boldness to really live it. Because I really do believe, we're talking about learning from other people. And it really, I can learn, I was just teaching a bunch of children, 6-year-olds, right? And I love working with children. They were from like 30 different countries, from different economic backgrounds and everything. And I was saying that I can learn from all of them. Because, it's asking these questions. They have this sense of wonder. They have this sense of play, if you will. Because I believe ultimately the life we live are the lessons we teach. The life we live are the lessons we teach to other people. And it's not about what we say. So many people just say, they can say things all the time, but if they're not doing those things, I feel like we don't really understand it. And I think really when it comes down to it, a life well lived, it's not just the words, because words, it's better well done than well said. But so many of us are shrinking sometimes, and you must see this, Brian, where because we're so we value other people's opinions so much and their expectations so much, and we don't really know ourselves. And even if we are getting glimpses of it, you know, it's hard in this world to be ourselves when you have, you know, so many people are living a life, you know, it's their parents, you know, ideas for them, or it's the Joneses or something like that. And I think you could really go broke buying into other people's opinions, you know, and their expectations. And so coming back to this, you know, when we're talking about human memory and learning, I just feel like we're here to grow, and we're here to give. And that's when we feel the most empowered. So it's like knowing who we are and then being who we are.